Hello, good morning. Welcome to day 4 of our self-love September journey. Today, we are looking at security and safety. That feeling of being rooted in and grounded in. We've worked with our stability, and now we want to increase our feelings of safety and our feelings of security as we're moving through learning and engaging with our self-love and our body acceptance and our appreciation for ourselves. Today, go ahead and have your blocks again or other support. It doesn't have to be blocks. Just make sure what you're using is sturdy, steady, not gonna slip and slide on you. If you are using a candle, go ahead and have that nearby. Anything you need to set your space. I have my journal with me. I have my cards for our divination later, a pen obviously for writing. I've got my nice little piece of jasper that's hanging out with me for this part of our journey. Just make sure you have all the goodies you need. You might want a blanket also, just to give yourself a little bit of cushioning for the knees. We are going to be doing some standing poses today, some standing asanas. We're going to be building on what we were working with yesterday in our stability portion. We're going to be building on the poses we were in then, that foundation that we were setting with our legs. That foundation is really relevant to several really popular yoga asana, and so we are going to be going a little bit deeper into that today. So without further ado, let's get started. I am going to go ahead and get my candle lit for the day, revising my intention to continue my work toward growing my self-love, to finding acceptance in the body that I have here today, not what it could be or might be or what I think it should be. Finding appreciation for where I am right now, gratitude for showing up today. Let's get right into our yoga practice for today. Today we're going to start in a child's pose. We spent some good time there yesterday. I'm gonna lay out my blocks so I have them at my disposal. So we're gonna start wide-legged, bring the knees all the way out to the outer edges of the mat, those big toes together to touch. Just sink the hips back towards the heels. Start there, and then walk the hands out long in front, bringing that forehead to the mat, continuing to find this tension between squishing the hips back towards the heels and elongating through the front. Blocks are great here to provide just that extra lift of the ground up. Beginning here today in this nice little cave that we build for ourselves. I often think of child's pose as a cave, a place where I can feel my breath bouncing off of the mat. Taking a moment to settle in here to this space, finding comfort, finding security here. You can always move your flesh around a little bit if it's in the way. There we go. Sinking deep here. Turning the attention to the breath. Beginning to notice the inhale. Feeling the exhale bounce off the mat. Open the mouth, sigh out that exhale. Maybe you hear a little bit of an oceanic sound. And sealing the lips shut. Allowing the breath to come in through the nose and out through the nose. Taking these first moments to ground down into our practice today. Aligning with the breath. On the next inhale, pushing in through all those fingers, pushing so much the elbows lift up off the mat, and then pushing up to our hands and knees, moving the knees in underneath the hips, backing the wrists up underneath the shoulders, spreading the fingers wide apart, using the strength of the fingers here to take pressure off of the wrists, relaxing through those feet, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat here. The back is nice and straight. Inhale, let the belly drop, let the gaze lift, let the shoulder blades come together. Exhale, arching the spine, pulling up through that low core, feeling the belly button moving towards the spine, chin towards the chest. Finding a little movement here, gentle movement, staying with the breath. Inhaling, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhaling, arching the back, chin to chest. Take 3 more series here, moving with your breath in your own time. Remembering that this time and space is yours. Your practice is your own. And on your next inhale, returning to a flat back, neutral spine here. If you have your blocks nearby, use those to create a little more space. Inhaling and exhaling, stepping that right foot through between the hands. Moving a little quicker today through the same movements we had yesterday. Aligning the knee over the ankle, pushing back through the left shin, through the top of the foot into the floor, feeling the tension of being pulled in both directions here. Finding that stability in the bottom, finding that foundation through your legs, releasing any grip with the toes, and lifting the shoulders up over the hips here. And inhaling the arms up, gaze up. Exhaling, bringing the hands back down to the mat, stepping the right foot back, taking a quick child's pose, stretching forward, releasing through the back, back to the hands and knees. Inhale that left leg up between the hands. Find the solid foundation here first. Pushing back through the right leg, down and solid into the ground with the left leg. Feeling all 4 corners of that left foot. Hips are squared to the front of your mat. And with this foundation in place, just lifting up, shoulders over hips. And inhale. Reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Left leg back behind. Moving through, back to a narrowed knee child's pose this time. Coming back to hands and knees. You can continue through that series and stay right here where we are, right on the knees, or this time we are going to lift up to standing, inhaling, right leg comes between the hands, finding strength and stability here, nice and strong, right foot is planted, all four corners pressing into the ground, turn those left toes under, pushing into the ball of the foot, lifting that left knee. Make any adjustments you need to here. Hips still pointing to the front of the mat. High runner's lunge here. Fingertips are maybe just resting for stability and balance on those blocks. And now, shoulders come up over hips, taking a moment, maybe sinking a little deeper, letting that bend be nice and strong in the right leg, knee still over ankle. From here, nice and solid pressing, feeling the energy leaving through that back heel. From the high runner's lunge, we just bring the arms up, bring the gaze up to crescent warrior. Here we start to tap into that warrior energy, that energy within us that keeps us safe and strong. Exhaling, hands come back to the mat. Let the left knee come down to the mat. Step the right foot back. Wide knee child's pose, releasing the strain and the work that we just did here, relaxing down. Checking in with the breath. Right back up to the other side. Hands and knees, aligning the knees back underneath the hips. Inhale, left leg between the hands. Finding that strength and stability here first, and then turning the toes of the right foot under, pressing back through the ball of the foot. Heel is lifted, energy is flowing out the back of the heel. Nice and strong here. Find that stability here. Hips pointed to the front of the mat. Then shoulders lift up directly over the hips. Keep it stable. Straighten that back leg. Nice deep bend in the front leg, knee over ankle. When you are safe, stable, and strong, the arms come up. You can always take a slightly wider stance if you're not quite so stable with that additional movement. Arms up, gaze up, crescent warrior on the left side. Big inhale in, exhale. Hands back down to your blocks, to your mat. Bend the right knee. Step the left leg back. Knees wide. Child's pose. Release. Come back into your breath here. Inhaling, moving back to our hands and knees. Now we're going to move through that same series here. You can take a quick cat, cow, cow on the inhale, cat on the exhale if you need a little movement here. But we're going to move through that same series and then shift into an asana named Warrior 2. So let's go for this. So, hands and knees. We know where we're going. We're going to inhale, the right leg comes between the hands. Safe, solid, secure here. Turning those left toes under, lifting up. Finding stability in the high runner's lunge. Shoulders come up over the hips. Inhale, arms up. Gaze up. And then let that left foot turn and open you up. Heel comes to the mat. Feet are forming a 90-degree angle here. Heels in line with one another. Nice big bend in that front knee. Hips shift straight forward in front of you now. Looking to the side of your mat. And the arms just come right out to the sides, parallel with the ground. Might want to squish that leg forward to go a little deeper if that feels good for you. Really pushing back through the side of the left leg, the pinky toe edge of the foot over there. And when you're all here, we're all aligned, just turn and look over that right fingertip. Pulling the core in here, reconnecting to the breath, finding strength and stability here, unleashing that warrior energy within yourself, knowing that you can keep yourself safe and secure. Here in Warrior 2, inhale, the right arm lifts, left arm drops to the back of the left thigh, reaching overhead, feeling a nice stretch in the whole side body, keeping the bend in the front knee. And exhale, bringing the right hand all the way back down to the mat, to your blocks. Left hand follows, shifting to turn forward back to the ball of the left foot. The knee come down to the ground. Right leg steps back. Take a little break in child's pose. Finding a moment to rest. A moment to release here. Big breath in. Fill the belly all the way up. Open the mouth. Sigh it out. And we're ready for the other side. Inhaling. Back to hands and knees. Inhaling that left leg between the hands. Strong, stable here. Turn those right toes under. Lift up through the back leg. Shoulders up overneath, over the hips. You can always walk the feet a little bit further apart for stability. Shoulders over the hips here. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, let that foot sink back. Heels in line with one another. 90-degree angle formed between the feet. Hands coming down, parallel with the ground. Keeping that nice big bend in the front knee. Hips straight forward. And then just turn and look over the left. Strength and stability here. Finding that deep well of energy, that warrior energy, bringing it forward. Maybe you're shaking a little, that's okay. One more breath here. Inhale, left arm comes up and over, right arm down the back of the right thigh, opening through the shoulder, keeping the heart open and lifted. Big inhale, fill all the way up, and exhale, bringing the left hand back down to the mat, to your blocks. Right hand follows, turning to face the front of your mat. Right knee comes down to the ground. Left knee steps back. Child's pose. Sinking into the mat. Knowing you are safe here in your practice. You are secure. Big breath in, let the belly fill all the way up, and sigh it out, sink into the mat. pushing through the hands, sliding forward till we find ourselves resting on the belly, bringing the legs back together. You can make a little pillow with your hands, turn your head one way or the other, connecting here to the ground. Connecting to the breath, releasing all tension, relaxing down. Inhaling, lifting through the chest. Elbows come right underneath the shoulders. Fingers spread tall, just an easy back bend here. Release any tension in the glutes, through that booty. Release any tension in the lower half of the body. Pushing forward with the chest here. Letting your gaze be right between your thumbs. Letting those legs relax. Here in Sphinx pose. Being present with the wisdom of building our strength, of finding security in our own warrior energy. Breath in through the nose. Feel the belly push you away from the ground ever so slightly as you fill up. Open the mouth. Exhale, collapse. Arms go long in front, stretching back to the ground, releasing this pose. Exhale, sigh, rolling over. Finding your way back to your back. Scooting that booty down towards the heels. Maybe you can even brush your heels with your fingertips. Walking the feet hip width apart here. Knees straight to the sky. Feeling those four corners of the feet again. Using all four to push into the ground, finding that stability, lifting up through the pelvis, tucking the chin to protect the neck here. Using the hands to push into the ground. Releasing the glutes. Strong here through those legs, those stable, strong legs that empower you and keep you safe, knowing when to stand still, knowing when to run. Any shaking you're feeling, that's good. Getting that strength, building strength in the body. Inhale and exhale, slowly roll down. One vertebrae at a time, keeping the pelvis lifted so the hips are the last thing to reach the mat. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale, pull the feet into the chest, pull those knees into the chest. Maybe rock a little side to side here. A little release in that low back after our back bend. pushing up through the heels, lifting the feet to the sky. You can do this against a wall to give your legs a break. Pulling in through the low core here, letting the core do the work. Reversing the experience your legs normally have. Hands by the sides. Deep breath in. Big sigh out. Let your upper body melt into the ground. Big inhale in, fill the belly all the way up. And with control, lower the feet to the ground. Pushing through the heels the whole time. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And when the feet touch the ground, walk that left foot to the outer edge of the mat. Walk the right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Let the feet flop open here. Take any adjustments through your upper body for your comfort. Maybe you want a blanket underneath your lower back. Maybe you want a blanket on top of you. Turn the palms to face the sky. And relax. Release control of the breath here. Relax the jaw. Unclench. Move the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Soften your eyes. And receive all of the wisdom of your practice today, knowing that here you are safe, you are secure. Shavasana. Returning your attention back to your breath, slowly lengthening each inhale
slowly lengthening each exhale, allowing little movements to return to your fingers, to your toes, rolling out the wrists, rolling out the ankles. A big full body stretch here, waking up. Pull the knees into the chest and roll over to your favorite side in a little ball. Finding rebirth here. Taking a moment to say thank you to you for showing up today on your mat, for being present in your body, for finding safety and security in your practice. The strength of your arms pushes you up to an easy seat, legs crossed or straight out in front of you. Taking a moment to move any flesh for a nice stable connection, grounding down through the sits bones, lifting through the chest, shoulders over hips, tall spine, crown of the head reaching up towards the heavens. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. As we move into our meditation practice today, allow your hands to rest either palms up, to be open to new information, perhaps new insight about your safety or security, or palms down for a grounded sensation to let go of any extra fear or frustration, grounding down in stability and safety. Your palms can even touch the ground if that feels good for you. Taking a few moments here to be present in this safe space, in this sacred space. This space for you to be who you are. To know that you are enough. Your presence here on this plane, in this existence, is wonderful. You are safe. You are secure. Allow the breath to flow evenly and naturally. Soft inhale, gentle exhale. Staying present here as you move through today's meditation. Knowing, like all things, that this time is temporary. On your next inhale, allow your arms to gently float up overhead, palms coming to touch. The exhale, the elbows grow heavy as gravity pulls the thumbs down to rest at heart center. This place of your compassion, of your self-love, let it radiate out around you. Taking a breath, taking a moment to seal in that sense of safety and security, finding stability, staying grounded. Allow the palms to shift and rub against one another as you bring yourself fully back, present into your body, rubbing the palms together, back and forth, until we will clap one time to disperse the energy and bring ourselves fully back.
All right, we are back. I can't see anything because I took my glasses off partway through that. Glasses and face mashed into the mat are not the best mix, I don't feel. Whew. All right, so we are here for our divination practice today. I have total nerd blindness and can't see because my glasses fogged up. So today, for our divination, we are looking at safety and security. Um, as I'm sure you probably guessed, there's kind of, this kind of follows a similar theme. That's how my practice goes. I like to build upon things to strengthen them, to really remind myself what it is that I'm doing. And repetition is a really useful tool for that in from my perspective. So today, our divination prompt is, how do I feel safe and secure as I grow in my self love, as I move in my self love, as I experience self love, as I build self love? How do I find, how do I feel that safety and security? What helps me feel safe and secure? You can take this and form the question in the way that's right for you. My phrasing is a suggestion to you. Take it and make it what feels right for what you're looking for, what information you need from divinity, from spirit, from the universe, from that which is beyond us, or from your higher self, right? I think I will pull a card for us around this subject. Continuing to work with Ganesh, since he is the ruler of the Muladhara chakra, this root chakra energy we've been working with. All right, so let's shuffle some cards, and I will sing to him as I do this. Taking a moment to center. All right. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha. How can we feel safe and secure as we journey through our self-love? Nurture. So the card that came forth in answer to how do we feel safe and secure journeying through our self-love is to nurture. And when I think nurture, I think of mothering, and I think of caring for something. And we can turn that onto ourselves. We can nurture ourselves. We often think of having an inner child. We hear a lot about that. A lot of people talk about inner child work. I think it's really important to also consider the inner parent, because especially as we become adults and maybe we experienced difficulties and trauma in our childhood, maybe we do continue to have relationships with our parents, maybe we don't. Maybe that is by choice, maybe that is by circumstance. But as we move into adulthood, often we have to become our own parent. We have to nurture ourselves. And that's especially true, I find, while learning self-love and learning body appreciation and body acceptance. Learning to nurture our ability to connect to our bodies, to feel positively about our bodies. Um, I know a lot of my personal challenges and struggles with my body image really were very firmly seated in my childhood. So, developing this internal nurturer has become a huge source of unraveling that struggle and unraveling those messages, that programming, unraveling the programming that I have really deeply seated in my, especially my shadow, right? Um, Again, taking apart the voice that says all those nasty, crappy things. Pulling that apart has absolutely helped me feel safe and secure in my body. Nurturing myself with kind and loving words that support that the body I'm in now is the body I should be in right now, that I am strong despite what society might say, that I am capable despite what society might say, and that I can always improve and grow, that no matter where I am, no matter what my ability level is, I can work towards improvements. And that really does come from a very inner nurturing space for me. So I completely agree with our message today that nurturing is a piece of this puzzle for us as we learn to feel safe and secure in our self love, which also makes me think of another point. Um, this morning, when I was, kind of wandering around the house in a not really awake daze, figuring out, I wonder how this is going to take shape today. And I was thinking about the root chakra energy, and I was thinking about how it is often in a lot of research and literature about the root chakra, you come across this notion that this is the chakra that's really born in infancy, that's that the energy is developing during those first months, first year maybe of life. And in conjunction with this concept of nurturing, I think that makes a lot of sense. When we are that young, when we are brand new to this world and we require safety and security, we don't at that point have the power to create that for ourselves. We are completely dependent on others creating that for us. So this nurturing concept is inextricably linked to our root chakras, to our safety and security element of this energy center in our body. And I believe, I firmly believe, that even if we did not have the best nurturing in the beginning, that we can work to change how that manifests in our body. We can work to change how that manifests in our lives. We can create better stability for ourselves. We can create safety and security that we may not have felt when we were little. We can be grounded, right? We can achieve these things. It's a process and it's a practice. And it comes in with building this self love, with accepting where we are and appreciating where we are. And where you are in your journey with that is where you are in your journey with that. That's it. That's it. There's no right or wrong. There's no you're behind or ahead, or there's no comparison and there's no judgment around this. You just are where you are and you can grow from that if you choose to. And if you don't, that's also okay. Coming to a place where I can have that outlook has been really freeing for me because particularly maybe my Virgo nature really wants to, be ultra successful and perfect and all of this junk, and that really has not been helpful to me throughout my life. So all of this is kind of a piece of unraveling that. Anyway, good stuff today. I don't know about you, but I'm sure my legs are going to be a little bit sore, a little bit tired from the work we did today. Tomorrow we have one more day of focusing on this root energy, and then we'll be moving on. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful Friday, or whatever day it is that you are now watching this. Lots of love to you all. Mwah. And I will see you tomorrow.